Welcome. Before we get started today, I have to confess I need your forgiveness because last week I made a mistake. What happened was that I got my tongue wrapped around my eye tooth and I couldn't see a word I was saying. Well, if that sounds confusing to you, that's exactly what happened to me. I was seeing in my mind, but it wasn't coming out of my mouth right. So this week, we'll correct that. What I had asked you to do was with you and your family to take 5 minutes and to brainstorm as many songs or as many hymns with the word heart in it. And then send that list in to me and I'll compile a big list of all the songs with word heart that we can think of together. But one thing I did get right, I did ask you to count up as many times as I said the word heart when I told the story. And if you counted 14, you would be right. And now for the rest of the story. Last week we left off where the father was throwing a party for his youngest son, who had gone off, spent all his money, wasted it in wild living, but came to his senses, came home, his father forgave him, and now the father wanted to have a party. And so the father had the servants go and get out the robe of honor for his son to wear. And then they brought out the ring of authority. And next, the sandals that were fit for a son. And last, they brought the fatted calf. This is my party animal, my party cow, complete with its very own cowbell. Because what's a party without a little noise and cowbell? Now, the cowbell was ringing, the music was blaring, and the oldest son came in from the field and he said, "What's all the commotion? I hear music, and is that more cowbell?" And then the servant said, "Haven't you heard? Your youngest brother came home, and your father is so grateful he is safe and sound that he's throwing him a party with lots of cowbell and music and food." And the oldest son said, "What? Really?" And all he could see was red before his eyes. He was so angry. And then he was so jealous that all he could see was green because he was green with envy. And he stomped out, pouted, and wouldn't go to the party. And so the father went out to talk to his son and explain things. But the son cut him right off and he says, "Really? How could you? How could you do that to me? I have been the good son all this time. I have stayed at home with you. I have never given you a moment's worry. I didn't go breaking your heart. And I am now so frustrated because you never gave me a party for me and my friends. And now my good-for-nothing brother comes home and you give him a big party with lots of cowbell." And the father, his heart was just broken again, but this time by the words of the older son. And a little piece of his heart left a hole in his heart because of his oldest son. And he said to his oldest son, "Don't you understand? You have been with me all this time. I have always loved you. I still love you. And what is mine is yours. But don't you understand? Your brother was lost, but now he has found his way home. Can't we celebrate? Can't we rejoice together as a family?" And so the oldest son, you know what? We don't know what the oldest son said or did because the story leaves us hanging. That's why they call it a cliffhanger. And I wonder if you were to write the end of the story, if you were to write down how you think the older brother responded, I wonder what that would look like. Perhaps you can write it down, maybe draw a picture, and send it to me, and I can share what you think. But meantime, when you go home, celebrate our Heavenly Father's forgiveness and celebrate your family any way that you like, with cowbell and more cowbell and as much cowbell as you like, but party.